Hi guys, welcome. If it's your first time here, it is Paul TV, and I hope to see you again. Alright, so I have another interesting story that I need to tell you guys. Still on the topic of growing up without a dad. That is just my experience. I guess some of the experiences I can say they're a little bit dramatic, come to think of it. And the rest of the story, I don't know how to say it. If you want, please refer to my first and second videos in regards to, growing out without a parents. Not that you are an orphan per se. Maybe if you're an orphan, you might also have similar experiences. And usually sometimes when a parent, either a dad or a mom, is not in the picture, you might find yourself staying with different relatives. And in my case, that was the case. I started off living with the first person that my mom left me with when I was really young. I came to realize that she wasn't really a relative. She was a best friend. She was a friend. And I think they have known each other for a long time. And she just dropped me off, told the woman that she's coming back in 2 weeks. And I didn't see her until I think I was going second or third year of high school, right? All right. So I just want to tell you guys, and if you guys watch some of my previous videos, I've told you guys different experiences. And the reason I'm saying this is because some of them are traumatic. I think it is also healing, but the other part is I like to talk. So I like to talk, right? And I'm a storyteller, so I write books, but I don't intend to write books in regards to those stories. Let me paraphrase. I don't intend to write books. I don't intend to write books, to write those stories in books. Okay, guys, I can't. You know what I mean, right? I don't intend to write books out of these stories. Okay? All right. So, this story was, oh my God. Anyways, I'm trying to put myself together so I can tell you guys the story. Because it's, back then it made sense for them. The thing is, let me try to paint a picture. Try to put yourself in the situation of this lady that I was left with. Your friend comes and you haven't seen your friend for a long time. Your friend said that she's traveling. She had other 2 kids that she was traveling with, and she told you that, you know what, please just, I'm gonna leave this girl. And I think she was traveling with 3 kids at the time, and all toddlers, and I can understand why it can be difficult for one person to travel with 3 toddlers. So me dropping me off en route to wherever she was traveling off, dropping me off to this her friend made sense, because it just gonna mean, it only meant that, okay, she's at least one child, I guess 1 luggage less, and it's gonna make her trip obviously easy. And yeah, so she dropped me off at this woman, this lady's house, and she said she was coming back in 2 weeks, and she did not come back in 2 weeks. She did not come back in 3 weeks. She did not come back in 1 year, not in 2 years, not in 3 years, not in 5 years, She came back maybe after 10 years or so. So we need to get to this story. It's very interesting. We need to get to this story. So I'm trying to paint a picture for someone, because I'm probably trying to justify the story I'm about to tell you guys, because sometimes, even though I am the victim in this picture, but I don't wanna play victim. I'm trying to make them be the victim, because obviously they are a victim. Okay, someone drops off a human being that cannot take care of themselves, a human being that cannot, for example, shower by themselves, that need help in showering. This human being cannot do her own laundry. This human being cannot help with any chores. I was too young. I wasn't useful when I was dropped off, right? I was very useless. I was a toddler, you know. Maybe I was over the stage of a toddler. I wasn't 3 years or 4 years, but I think I was a little bit after that, few years more than that, because I remember I wasn't in nursery school yet, because they took me to nursery school, and they told them that I was too young, so they had to take me back home. That's why I'm trying to understand that I was really young at the time. They could not admit me to nursery school because the school said that I was too young. So that's why I'm saying that I was really a useless kid when I was dropped off to this woman, and with my mom saying she was coming in 2 weeks, and she did not show up. And actually I had issue with this, because when I was growing up to now, I still remember, the thing is, people say when you are young, there are things you don't remember as a child. That's a lie. I still remember that saying the truth is important. I still remember that a lie is a lie. And because we were counting, I was counting. Even though I didn't understand how many days 2 weeks took, but I will usually ask, is like, oh, my mom is coming back in 2 weeks, so is she coming tomorrow? Because I kept asking, and they kept telling me it's not 2 weeks yet. And then I remembered them telling me, oh, it's already after 2 weeks and your mom is not here. It's already 1 month, your mom is not here. It's already, and they did not take me. The other reason why they wanted to take me to school, because they didn't know what to do with me, basically. And I don't know why they should have taken me to daycare. That could have given them a break, right? Yeah, but anyways, all I remember is I was taken to this school, and I was not admitted because apparently I was too young. So they brought me home. I remember I was just useless. I was not helpful. I was very useless. And they were not happy. And then I remember this particular time, I mentioned it in other videos. I don't know, I keep bringing this story back because it's significant. Where I was really, really sick. I think I remember I was 6 or 7 years old. I was very, very sick. And that was the first time I was sick from the time that I was dropped off, because I kept thinking that I was not going to stay there. I kept thinking that I was going to be picked up, and that didn't happen. And I remember when I was sick, all I wanted was a hug, and I did not get a hug. And that time I remember I had to grow up very quickly, so it dawned on me that, you know what, this is a different regime, so you're in a different place and all that. Yeah, so it was difficult. It was really tough, but yeah, at 6 or 7 years old, I had to grow up very quickly. And I also remember I started becoming useful. Like, they would send me to go do things, and I broke few glasses. Sometimes they'll tell me to go do things. I'll just fall with the things. I was such a useless kid at the time. I was young, because I wasn't used to doing chores. For me at the time, I remember playing was the most important thing in my life at the time, from what I can remember. Anywho, now let's get to the story. So yeah, I did stay there for some time at that place, at that house, the lady's house. Her husband was a minister. She was, I think, I don't remember. She was, the husband was a minister. So you will think, anyways, sort of another. Let me focus. Okay, let me tell you guys the story. So anyhow, as I continued to stay there, of course, after probably after a few years, of course, they took me again to school, and this time I was admitted. And then she was saying that, okay, we're just going to admit you to school. At least you need to be learning something until whenever your mom will come and pick you up. And the funny thing is, I don't know why, she didn't know, I think any. Okay, hi guys, it's let's continue with the story. So anyhow, obviously, after I guess few years, I was admitted in school. So I think I was old enough to attend school. And then what she was saying, the lady was saying, is that they need to put me in school for some time, so that when my mom comes and pick me up, that way at least I have some backgrounds, right, in school and whatnot, so that it will be easy for transitions and all that stuff. So anyway, so of course this woman did not show up. Finished primary 1, finished nursery, primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, and nope, she's nowhere to be seen. And I remember I was about 13 years old, I was going to 14. And then this particular woman kept coming to the house. It's a big house, and I told you guys her husband was a minister. So people, you guys know Africa. If you are staying in a home where there are, politicians or important people, the home is usually full with people, relatives, visitors. It's always busy, right? And this woman kept coming with the son. They come to visit and they leave. They come to visit and they leave. And anytime they'll come, they'll call me to go entertain them. Go, please come and give the visitors something to drink. Oh, please go and check the kitchen. Bring them something to eat. So okay. So the woman kept coming. And then this particular day, this woman came with a son, with a young man. Okay. I'm 13 years old. What do I know? Why I couldn't even think of anything. Okay. So I was called again. The lady called me. Oh, there are visitors. Please go and get them. Go in the kitchen, get them this, get them that. Okay. So I went and I got them some refreshment and blah blah blah. They are talking, and for me, I just drop off the refreshment and I'm gone, right? Usually, sometimes there is still something to do in the kitchen, or and as I told you guys in previous videos, this particular aunt, you cannot be idle. You cannot be idle. If you don't appear to be doing nothing, just keep yourself busy or appear to be busy doing something. Because some of you that lived with such relatives, you need to appear busy at all time. She cannot find you. Like I remember one of my uncles, he was a minister, or I have a lot of ministers. He was a minister of tourism. I don't know which minister it was. That one, that's a story for another day. That one, if you go to his house and he finds you guys sitting in the living room, he's like, okay, did you do your homework? Why are you sitting on my sofa? You need to go educate yourself so that tomorrow you can buy your own sofa. Jeez, that guy, man. He was always cranky. Anyways, back to this story. Yeah, so this woman, at this particular time, this woman came with a young man, blah, blah, blah. I was told to bring refreshment and all that. Oh, okay, I gave it to them and I went back to help out in the kitchen, and sometimes, of course, there are things to do. And then they called me. This woman called me. The lady I was staying with. She called me like, oh, by the way, do you know this auntie? I was like, yeah. I've been seeing her. She's been coming all the time, blah, blah, blah. I said, auntie, you're welcome. He's like, yeah, today he came with the son. The reason they're here, they've come to ask for your hand in marriage. I was like, what? Hello? Pardon me? What first came into my mind is like, am I hearing correctly? Or so I had to ask her to repeat it because, and of course, African parents, you don't tell them, hey, can you repeat it? I didn't understand. No, you have to put it in a way that you are not making it look like you're asking question. Plus, I really want to understand what's going on. Then I'm like, auntie, I didn't understand the last part. What did you say? He's like, oh, they're here to ask for your hand in marriage. The son just graduated. His father died, but the father left a business for him. He has another business, and I think the city they mentioned as like they're staying in Entebbe. He just bought a house, so all he's missing is just a wife. Then I was like, so now instead of talking to her, I'm now looking at the woman's mom. Then I'm like, but I'm not even 15 years old. In fact, I'm not even 18 years old. I'm not 20. But there's a lot of girls in this house. We have people that are 18, 19, 20, 20 something. That can be someone he can marry. Why are they asking me? And then the lady I was staying with jumped is like, oh, who told you to be asking elders questions? You cannot ask elders questions, blah, 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 blah. And the woman is like, no, she's right. She asked the right question. And then, of course, they wanted now to make it seem so that I can feel good. You know what they said? They said, yeah, the reason why she's been coming here for a very long time, she was studying, and she noticed that you are very hardworking and blah, blah, blah. You are very beautiful. You are quiet, so you'll be perfect wife for the son. And she did see those other girls, but she doesn't think they are the right match. And now the lady I was staying with is like, oh, and by the way, this is really good opportunity for you. Because your mom left you here. She said she was coming in 2 weeks. She did not come. So, what I'm going to tell them, we are going to proceed with this marriage arrangement. But this is what we're going to do. Because of dowry payment and all that stuff, we need your mom consent. So I'm saying yes, and she said yes to them for a marriage proposal. In the meantime, they're going to try to get hold of my mom. If they get hold of my mom, and then if they get hold of her, they will say rizik came. They will say a blessing came. Because marriage is a blessing, they will say that a blessing came, and they cannot turn away the blessing. And apparently, according to her, they have already spoke to the guy and the mom. I should not worry about school, because once I got married, I'll still be going to school from this guy's house. 13, 14-year-old. Do you know that the prayers I used to pray in that house, because there were a lot of drama that used to happen there. The prayer I used to pray that God to let my mom come so that they can pick me up so I can leave. And I had to switch the prayer very quickly to pray that please stay wherever you are. Just make sure we don't get hold of you. Let nobody get hold of you wherever you are. So what saved me was that they could not get hold of her. It's not like they could not really get hold of her. She was busy. So the first person that was sent, they say she was somewhere in Khartoum, and some of the people that came back with the messages like, yes, we attended her wedding, very beautiful wedding, blah, blah, blah. She got married to this millionaire guy and blah, 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 blah. Okay. There was these people, according to these people, they could not really talk to her and to bring up this marriage thing because she was busy getting married. And then they had to send a message again, because I told you this woman's husband was a minister, so they had connections. They had to send us another message again. And this time they found out that she was in Egypt. Her Royal Highness, well, she's actually from a royal family, my mom. So her royal family had divorced this millionaire guy. There was another big wedding that is happening in Egypt. So she was getting married to someone else in Egypt. And these people, of course, some of the people that attended the wedding, and said, oh yeah, we saw her, very beautiful woman. But we couldn't really talk to her because, it was her wedding. And then we thought we will bring it up, after the visitors leave and blah, blah, blah. But they couldn't bring it to talk to her about it. So anyhow, Anyway, so I guess this woman, so anyways, they couldn't get hold of her, or rather they couldn't even get to speak with her, right? So unfortunately, this woman and the son that had come to ask for a 14-year-old or 13-year-old hand in marriage, they had no choice than to look elsewhere because they could not get hold of my mom. So looking back now, make it make sense. How was that making sense? But in a way, if I can play the devil's advocate, in a way it made sense. Because they brought a stranger kid, someone dropped off a child in your home, saying that she's coming back in 2 weeks, and she did not show up. Liability. You have to take care of the child, medical, blah, 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 blah. And now the child is in school. You have to be the one taking care of the child's education and everything. Right? So, if the way they are saying a blessing comes, someone comes to ask for the person's hand in marriage. For you guys, for some people, it is actually a relief. They look at it as like, oh, hallelujah. We are going to be free. At least let this one go get married. Then at least we don't have to deal with the liability, dealing with education for this person and all that stuff. So I think in a way it made sense for them. But the fact that it's a small child, and from what I remember, I think the guy was in his 30s. Someone in his 30s to marry 13 or 14-year-old. Very weird. So it's very interesting. People that if you grow up without a parent, whether a mom or a dad, it's very interesting. Especially when you are staying, what is this type of movie? Especially when you are staying from one relative's house to another, from one family to another. It's very interesting because you see all kind of things. You see all kind of things. You go through all kind of treatments, and yeah, you see all sorts of things. Like anytime I think of that, I'm like, wow, because it just crossed my mind. I'm like, hold the phone, hold on. What are these people thinking? That woman was coming to the house every time. And the woman finally comes and says, hey, we need to marry this girl. And we're like, yes, we'll proceed. But let's try to get hold of the mom. Can you imagine? So one thing I've learned is if you can, children are a blessing from God, but don't let your children become a liability to someone else. If you're going to let someone else take care of your kids, at least let that be a nanny or someone you're paying. They know that they are doing it, it's business. They're taking care of your child for you, but you're paying them. It's not free. And sometimes some of these people have their own children, have their own families, and you're adding another liability on top. It's not easy. It's not easy. On my case, I survived. But there are other kids that did not. Maybe some of them are orphans. Some of them, maybe the parents are not, capable, and maybe the grandparents had to take over or had to, It's interesting, right? So I just feel like if you can, try. Don't let your kids be liability to other people. It's not the best thing to do, because your children can see shaggy, like all the kind of different families and relatives that I stayed with. And I told you that my dad's side too, but my mom's side also, they are royalty. They also come from money. And they are not, say, like struggling people. Mm-mm. But don't do it. If you cannot, yeah, just don't do it. Don't let your children become a liability to someone else. Yeah, don't do it. It's better even though you're staying in one bedroom. Huh? You guys are sleeping in one bedroom or two bedroom, but you are together taking care of your family under one roof. It's better. It's not easy because some of these kids have seen things that have gone through hell and back. And some people think that, it's my brother, one father, one mother, it's my sister, it's my... It doesn't matter who it is. It can be relative, it can be family friend, it can be anybody. Most people don't have the heart. Most people don't have the heart of taking care of other people's children. You know, most people don't have the heart. And some people don't have the patience. Right? And other people just don't have a lot of love to go around. Right? They don't have love pro max that is gonna go around. They just have the love to go around their children and their next of kin, whoever they are. Right? And when children are growing young, they really need the love of the parents. Very, very important. And for some reason, kids grow up very quickly. So yeah, just don't do it. Don't do it. I told you guys in a previous video that one girl that had to go to Saudi Arabia to work, and left her son with the best friend. And the best friend ended up trafficking the son, sold the son, right? Very true story. So don't do it. Not everyone has the heart to take care of children that are not theirs, even though they are family. They're not gonna take care of your children as you. And if you're not you, and as for you, if you're not ready to have children, don't do it. It's like sometimes when I think of it, I don't think, that's why sometimes I don't blame my mom so much, because I'm like, she was too young, she had no business having children. She was too young. She still wanted to party. She still wanted to marry here, marry there, enjoy life. I can't live my life like her, obviously. We are very, very different. I can't live my life like that, but point is, some people she had no business having kids at the time that she started having kids. And she had no business, she had no business having kids because she still wanted to party and enjoy her life. And if it was here in the Western world, I think all her kids will have been put in a foster home. I think so. Because she did a lot of crazy things. In one of my videos, I told you guys, right, where she locked us in the room and went to party and she was away for over a week. You guys remember? Actually, is it a week or less than a week? But anyways, that is according to the neighbors. But the videos are there. You guys can check the video. But yeah. If you are young, you have no business having kids. Don't have kids when you are young. Use protection when you can. Don't do it. You are not gonna be able to. It's not easy. Yeah. as I was saying, if you are young, if you are not ready to have kids, don't. There's a lot of technology right now. Freeze your eggs. Just freeze your eggs. And then you can have your kids whenever you're ready. But when you're too young, don't. It's not good, because you're bringing some human beings in this world that you're not going to be able to take care of them. And then it's just going to be a grace of God that this human being will turn out to be a good citizen. And sometimes you'll not be so lucky. That's why sometimes some kids go through things, they start to be wayward, drinking, getting into drugs, smoking, fighting, getting into trouble. Those are all things that they are trying to look for attention somehow. And with the girls, sometimes they'll start, getting out there very early, party, unwanted pregnancies, teenage pregnancies. All these things can happen. But it actually depends with the kids. There is a saying that a child that wants to spoil will spoil no matter what. Even with both parents, if they want to spoil, they will spoil. There's a truth to that as well. Because I remember growing up, I didn't have a father in the picture. There was no mother in the picture. I could have used that as an excuse to say, hey, freedom to go to be wayward. I could have used that. But I wasn't really interested. I had friends with when I was a teenager, I have friends with people that used to drink, used to smoke. I wasn't really curious to even test it. I wasn't curious to even try to smoke. I was not curious at all. People that used to party, go out and all that stuff, clubbing. It wasn't really my thing. Actually, I think I started going to club, which didn't last that long, when I came to Canada. And I guess it's peer pressure, but mostly because when I got here, I bought a car. I had some money, and I was staying with one of my uncle as well, that is a minister. I told you guys I have a few of those in my family. So he gave me a few US dollars. So when I came here, I just added some money and got a car. So some of the times that we will go to club with my friends is so that I can give people a ride, which I didn't mind. And I also liked the atmosphere of club. It's not like I'm going to drink. People will be drinking. Even, the bartenders knew what I like to drink. I'll just be enjoying the music, and I'm drinking my pineapple juice. I love pineapple juice. And I'll just have like my chicken wings, whatever food they have there. And I enjoy myself, But some people, it's like they have to drink and all that stuff. And when we started going to a few wine tasting in Niagara, here in Canada, I went to wine tasting. I ended up liking ice wine. So right now, the only drink that I can drink is ice wine because it's sweet. And most people say it is expensive. They're like, oh, it's a rich taste. I'm like, no. If you try, ice wine is very sweet, and you should try it. So ice wine is the only drink that I like. And sometimes when we go out for dinner and stuff, most restaurants don't really carry ice wine. So yeah, but that's what I only drink. But other than that, and I don't drink to get drunk. I just drink to just to chill, to feel rich. I don't know if there's such a thing. Yeah, actually, I did tell people that, and so I do have businesses, but I also work with the government. So sometimes there are moments that I'm in a mood of feeling rich, right? So if there are moments that I am feeling rich, then I'll be like, wow, today I feel rich. I don't want to work for someone else. Then at times I'll just, call in or do half day or something at work. Yeah, once in a while when I'm feeling rich. When I have my feeling rich moment, that is the time that I don't feel like working for someone. My feeling rich moment is like, how's my business doing? What is missing? What do I want to do? Yeah, so when I'm feeling rich, when I have my feeling rich moment, that's when I'll just grab, like, just chill with a nice movie, relax on my ice wine, or order out, either pizza or sushi or whatever it is. And I like Japanese vegetable tempura. I don't know how they do it, but I love the tempuras. Usually people order it as a side meal or even a starter, but for me it's like, please give it to me as a main course. So yeah, I'll just add extra and maybe some extra salmon. I love salmon. So yeah, so sometimes I'll just order like unusual menu. Anytime I go out, I have like unusual menu. People think it's unusual, but because I like to eat what I like to eat. So it's like when we go out, I like salmon, and then I'll order the tempuras, veggie tempuras. That's it. One second. Right, so so I love the tempura, veggie tempura. You should try it. If you go to any Japanese restaurant, try the veggie tempuras. It's really, really nice. And with the sauce that they give you, so it's really amazing. I love that. So anyhow, yeah, so as I was saying is, bottom line is, if you can't try, if you have kids, try as much as possible to be in their lives. The reason I'm saying this is because it's such a loss. I find it like such a huge loss. I don't know why I'm calling it a loss anyways. Is the fact that we are not close. Even though I call my mom, we have nothing to talk about. Absolutely nothing to talk about. Nothing. There is nothing. There is no shared memories. There is nothing. It's basically blank, So at times the phone just goes quiet, and then you ask about people, and also the way I was brought up. I ended up knowing relative a little bit later, because remember, she left me with this woman. I grew up not knowing any relatives, right? So yeah, so there's nothing to talk about. There is nothing to talk about. Sometimes when you talk to her, she's gonna tell you, there was a time, and I'm gonna tell you guys why my dad wasn't in the picture and who is he, and I'm gonna tell you guys about that. She did out of the blue, because I asked her, and she did out of the blue tell me basically what I knew growing up is not the reality. Man, my life is a soap opera. My life is a soap opera. I don't know if you guys watch. They used to have a show called The Bold and the Beautiful, or The Young and the Restless. Those stories got nothing on me. My life is a soap opera. Mine is next level. It's not close to that. So yeah, so the person that I knew all along is not. He is not the father. He is not the father. So yeah, and I'll tell you guys the story maybe in the next video. I don't know, not a lot of people are not commenting. Yeah, so I'll probably tell you guys in the next video. I don't know if I should do it in the next video, but I'll see. If I remember more stories, I'll tell you guys more stories about how, growing up without a parent and all that. Other than that, I'll probably start the daddy story and what she told me. But I'm trying to talk to her because I have some other questions. Because when she told me about the dad person, it was a shock to me because the person you knew all along apparently is not the one, and now this new person, there's still questions. Yeah, I hope I've not ever shared, but no, I don't think, no, I did not overshare. Yeah, it is what it is. It's true. Yeah, it's true. It is what it is. I told you guys, my life is a soap opera. I feel like if someone just said, hey, we need to write this movie, can you take your stories, please? What I'm sharing, right, is not 2% of the real stories. It's not 2%, it's not up to 2% of the actual stories, of the actual dramas that have folded. As far as living with, not living with your parents. The kind of situations you face staying with different relatives, different family members, different family friends. It is not. Yeah. But all in all, I can remember I was a good kid because from, as I told you guys in the previous videos, when some of the relatives started to know where my mom's kids were, so they were like, hey, you guys need to come visit, you guys need to come do this and this, that. So I was a good kid, so most relatives really wanted to stay with me, would want me to go there for holidays and all that. Yeah. Apparently I wasn't a troublemaker. I was a good kid, so thank God for that, right? But anyways, so today I guess that was it. I think I overspoke as always. The story was to tell you guys how I nearly got married off at 13 or 14 years old while staying with other people, other relatives, other family friends. But anyways, that is it for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.